Alright, guys. We got REYNOR in the top left side of the map, representing Basilisk, CLEM in the bottom right. And that's right, it's the final best of 3. For those who've been watching our recent REYNOR versus CLEM series, this is still the big Gabe Xperioncraft Cup. I can't believe it. 3 whole videos for one friggin' tournament. And it is going to be deciding the entire thing, of course. Spoiler alert, go watch the other videos if you haven't already, guys. And now we're going to spoil it. CLEM won the first series 3-1. REYNOR won that second series, was it 3-2, I believe? Which has activated this final series. Of course, the first one was just the upper bracket finals, which CLEM won. The grand finals, REYNOR won that best of 5 and has activated the final best of 3. It's going to be Winter Madness to find it out. Now, I think REYNOR's biggest issues in the first series were taking early damage. Hellions getting inside his base was a problem. Failed Evo Chamber wall-offs on Tourmaline, where he didn't realize you couldn't wall off with only 3 structures. But the build range for REYNOR has been off the charts, and it's been making this matchup particularly exciting. One thing we saw, because he had a preponderance to play quite a bit of Mutalisks, I think CLEM's play on Old Republic was absolutely genius, going for that 3cc 2-on-1 with a few Hellbats mixed in against the 2-base Muta play that he expected there. And I think REYNOR, I feel like if we do get Old Republic again in this series, which I doubt because it's a best of 3, it should be vetoed. But if there is a map where it's predictable you're going to play Mutalisks, try to avoid playing the 2-base Muta. Now, there was a really obvious thing that happened. This SCV always comes across. You need to send your drone out early and take this on 21 supply, like right now. Because otherwise, if you don't take this third hatchery straight away, he's going to block you. You're going to have to take this base on the right side. Now, recently, he's been able to send a drone to the right. The SCV follows it, and he goes and gets the base on location anyway. It's a really silly mistake. I don't think CLEM makes that mistake this time. Interestingly, REYNOR dodges the SCV and still... Wait, why is he trying so hard to get it on the bad side? Does he actually... Wait, guys. Does REYNOR think this base is better because he spreads the creep further forward? Sure, I thought he would for sure go for the left side base. I still think he's just going for this because he wanted to build the Queens, the Zerglings, and he just wanted to get it down on a location without it being blocked. So he goes 26 hatchery or 27. Overlord starts up, and we should see a few more drones. Reaper's going to come in. CLEM, of course, looking for that Reaper tax. For those who don't know, the Grim Reaper only ever asks for one type of tax. That is your life. REYNOR, of course, is going to do everything he can to avoid paying it, and he does so very well. Was this gas first? No, standard build order. But, oh, he's doing the second gas into third command center build again. That's, okay, so this is on purpose. This is multiple times we've seen CLEM now do this, guys. Second gas into third command center. Such an odd choice. Last time he did it, his build was completely scuffed. I really didn't like it. He's ready to build a starport. Is he going starport before... Okay, so he is going to try and go Cloak before Cloak Banshees pretty quickly while still having a third command center. I think he knows REYNOR likes to skip spores a bit, and especially the spore on this base has habitually been really late for REYNOR despite it being so close. And I think CLEM wants to punish that. You can see the Hellions, though, massively delayed. These guys are going to pop at like 340. So no real threat of a Hellion run by this game. No chance of them driving in and getting into your mineral line. If Sal's watching this, he's fuming at Pig's lack of game understanding. Guys, can you at least link me a clips if you guys are gonna keep up with these memes? Come on, man. I gotta have like a clip or something of this these memes so I have some context, man. Spore crawler trick does save the drone. Nicely done. Alien's gonna start their business rotating around. Gonna keep the queen split, 2 on the left, 2 on the right. But look at that, he finds the drones in the middle. Does manage to get that last hit with the Reaper. Well done. Overlords have got really good ring of vision. Plenty of time here for REYNOR to spread in response. The Lings can't get that, though. Pull back, REYNOR. Good pullback timing. All right, Les should be starting up in this main base. It's kind of late to be doing so, as he needs that... I mean, it's not late for normal, but considering he knows it's Banshees, or actually, does he even know anything? He hasn't scouted anything on the other side of the map. Never mind. Lair does start up at 4:30. Alien's going to rotate. Grenade goes down. 2 of the queens do get bounced, but the drones are kept safe. REYNOR's done a very good job of defending this base, and he's got such a wide spread on his creep now. I really feel like he's turned what I thought was a much worse base into a pretty damn valid playstyle. Potentially even a better playstyle. Of course. Oh, he was thinking of attacking his own Reaper there to friendly fire that, but he gets it with the grenade. Now, REYNOR is massing creep tumors, which means he's not going to have any transfuse energy if this were to turn into a Hellbat timing or something like that. Spores are once again ridiculously late. And like I said, he's doing that consistently. REYNOR's been delaying those not just as much as he can, but too much. I mean, 445 I consider a kind of nicely timed Spore Crawler. Slightly delayed, but like on the edge of being safe still. Hellions going to poke in. The Lings are pulling back. Oh, the Lings are really good here. Because once the Queens start shepherding away, that's all good. Good runaway on the drones as well. The drones can go back to mining now that the Spore Crawler's up. No Overseer morphing just yet. That Banshee, she's still got 20 energy, which means she can hang out there and do some more damage. Yeah, this is always dangerous as well. This area here is kind of exposed. Hellions managed to grab a Queen. Oh, REYNOR with some doo-doos. Losing a Queen there. Banshee almost dies to the spores, but not quite. This Banshee coming in on the right side. REYNOR's in a bit of chaos right now, guys. He's still not made an Overseer, and that's a disaster. I think he pulled off gas for a long time there. He's trying to go double Evo chamber, but you can tell REYNOR's really struggling with this awkward third base. It's not easy to defend this, man. It really is not, and despite the Hellion production being delayed, CLEM has got that count up to be frustrating. He's got a second factory on the front. He's building tanks right now, something he normally doesn't do, but I think tanks on this ledge are so hard for a Zerg player to stop. And, you know, sometimes because CLEM is such a Widowmine-focused player, you forget he can do a tank push as well, and his tank pushes are bloody brutal. He just doesn't do them very often. 7 drones in total going down. 4th hatchery is finished. No Spore on the left side, but he's going to get away with it, as the Banshees are both incredibly damaged and have to go home to repair. So the early game is going to close up now. Carapace starts here. Of course, 1-1's already more than halfway done. So Terran, despite going Hellion Banshee miles ahead on the upgrades, and that feels like if REYNOR was at 80 drones, I think it would be okay. He's at 68. He is behind in this game. He's going to be fighting an uphill battle. He's got 9 Queens, 48 Zerglings. He's stuck on 68 drones. He's on 1, 2, 3, 4 gases. So he's stuck playing Mass Queen, Zergling, Baneling, and he's going to try to get up to Hive Tech off of that. He cannot afford Hydras, can't afford anything else. And the tank push. Interestingly, moving down the left side, it's just Marine Widowmine for now. Or Marine Hellion, I should say. The tanks are chilling. Where are the 2 tanks, guys? I see 1 tank there. Okay, he did bring 1 tank on the front. Sorry, I couldn't see where that was. I was clicking the button. It's meant to zoom to where the tank is. Zerglings. Oh, they could actually get us around, maybe. The Hellion's very good against the Zerglings. Can they get to the safety? No, they cannot. Beautiful wraparound with the Lings. Banes are going to try to roll in. Oh, we actually got a few pretty good hits, but then the rest do, of course, unfortunately kind of have to blow up on the tank. Otherwise, they will get shot down by it unless they manage to keep moving. 74 workers for REYNOR. He's got Burrow on the way. 4 more drones. 5th base on the left side of the map. He's got to keep his creep spread going. He's got a good creep advantage, but he's not using it right now, and I think that's one of the most important things to use when you win a fight in this matchup is trying to get out there with that. Hydra Den's on the way, as well as 1 more gas. But look at that 2-2 timing already starting for CLEM. CLEM getting further and further ahead on those upgrades. He's going to abuse the minerals on this map are pretty gross, man. Yes, some Lings can wrap around the side, but this base we've seen is a real problem where even a single Liberator can deny mining from behind, and the area behind those minerals is just a bit choked up, a little bit dirty. Going to go after the spawning pool in the main. The Lings, unfortunately, did not go after those Marines immediately. Finally, they do. I think Bane on the right side will come over. Decent spready to minimize the Widowmine damage, but it was still a good shot. Queens are down there, and oh, he's going to find a double drop. At least one of them. Both medevacs go down. That's huge. 5 Hydras on the way, 80 drones. REYNOR, of course, is going movement speed first. I do kind of wish he went Grooved Spines first. I think it's the more important upgrade against Widowmines always to outrange those Widowmines. Not to mention those Marines. Getting the 1 range advantage on the Marine really does help. Oh, the Spore Crawler is getting some juicy hits off there. And of course, CLEM has been blessed by the Emperor. And his medevacs do just barely survive. Mostly Marine Mine pushing this side. Not many medevacs. Just 2 there. And these 2 Reddit point ones. But if he can leave a tank on the ledge. Oh, that tank positioning is frigging brutal, man. Marine Mine coming forward, already landing a delicious 18-kill Widowmine to start the fight. And fighting into this angle is a death sentence for Zerg. He comes in with the Zerglings from behind. The Banelings and Hydras getting dealt with. The Marines coming from both sides. Bane's not quite able to connect. He did burrow some on the ramp, which was juicy, but that's only 4 Marines. Not enough of a target for him to take that. And all the Marines will pick up and pull back to safety. Reynor survives for now. Is that enough, though? He's got +1 range, +2 carapace on the way. Infestation Pit as well. It's been an arduous day of non-stop StarCraft brawling between these two. Clem is in charge. He's looking large. He's got his 4th base fully established behind this. 8 barracks are now pumping. You can see concussive shells is coming in. He's also got 4 marauders building at a time. And he's trying to keep the pressure up because he knows he's ahead right now. There are still 11 queens up. They will buy a bit of time. They also could run forward to absorb these Widowmine shots. Always a good call there to take those. Those Burrowed Banes are so perfectly positioned, man. Still no Hive. Infestation Pit's done. Lurker Den goes down, but Reynor's not even max. He doesn't have a lot of money. I think teching up to Hive might be a mistake. He needs more units. He needs to crush these fights. Does take out a few of those Widowmines before they can fire. Nicely done. But on the right side, he's only got queens there. It's a big split of the army for Clem. Luckily, Clem gives up on that base. The queens will buy him time, but they don't do much damage, man. These are +0/1 queens against 2/2 Marines. They do almost no damage. The Zerglings finally come in there. The drop has to pick up. With no ability to really push him out of his territory, though, you can see just how much control Clem has. He's got Widow Mines everywhere, and Reynor would love for him to go walk over those Burrowed Banelings on that right side, but there's no way to really force him over there. That medevac, oh my gosh, they barely all survive. You're kidding me. Sporecrawler does a great job, but doesn't actually get the kills. Hatchery gets sniped there just in a moment of inattention. The Widowmine does land a bit on the Terran. Great Burrowed Baneling from behind on the retreat. And Reynor at least does punish him on the way out. Reynor's base on the left side is up. This base will instantly rebuild. He's got his Hive and his Overlord speed building. That Widowmine there, 8 Zergling kills. But Marauders are valuable units. Queens are in position, but the Hatchery's an easy snipe if he chooses to click on it. These medevacs so low. One of them does get focused down. Clem a bit too greedy. But of course, the 5th command center lands. Another command center's finished over here. 3 3s on the way. He's going to continue his upgrade lead. There's still several minutes where Clem has dominance, and he's got 2 starports, 3 libs building. He's got a Ghost Academy coming in. I mean, he's just got so much control over this map. Reynor needs some wizardry. There's just no way to pull Clem's attention away right now. Maybe a Ling run by would be good on this 3rd. Just anything to distract Clem, take some of his actions away. A few Lings stopping this base going up. Also, these are like the tiny openings in Clem's defenses that Reynor is missing because he's just so stuck in his side of the map. And he's trying to gather his whole army so he can actually surround something. Runs to the right, though. That means his creep on the left side gets pulled back. He's got a few lurkers over there, which is nice. I think he'd love to defend one side with lurkers and then counter thrust. I think if he dives down here, finds all these command centers, this could be the move. But he's got to go through the middle, and he's got to do it soon. +2 melee, +2 range are on the way. Scan comes in, and he's just going to overwhelm. Those are unsupported lurkers in the open. Reynor's micro is quick to try and save them, but he's already lost 4 of them. The Widowmine smearing all of the front Zerglings. With no Vipers or Corruptors, you can see it's just like, Clem's like, lol, I can just pick up and fly away anytime I want. Even though he had already used his boost. He's going to counter drop there, realizing right now it's all about momentum. Bio comes forward. If you can get rid of these queens, these Widowmines and Libs are going to be hard to deal with. The Baneling's going down. The Bio spreading into the mineral line. The Libs are falling. Same time, he does boost past a Sporecrawler. Was this a bit of a crazy move for Clem? Yes, it was. I think it was wasteful. Not just crazy, but wasteful. He felt like if I just lean on you, you're going to die. But you know what? Getting the spawning pool. Denying Adrenal is big. A new spawning pool's already been placed. Reynor with very quick reactions, but without any Vipers or Corruptors, these medevacs just have free reign, and it is nasty to behold for the Zerg fans out there. The Hydras do have Groove Spines. They've got 1 too, but this is now 3-3 Bio dropping in the back door, looking for any trade they can find. And Clem is so rich behind it. Even those wasteful trades for that minute or 2 might favor him, just because it drains the Zerg's already limited bank. He's still got enough money to remax almost instantly. He's making mass orbital now. 3 more orbitals coming in, which will bring him from 4 to 7. He's going to drop down here as well. Does take out the Sporecrawler, and then quickly picks up and saves a bunch of those units. Nice move. He's going to shove the middle at the same time. Ghost coming in, Bio, Lib, all sorts of stuff. It's a bit of a hodgepodge, though, and a little disorganized. Luckily for him, there is no Widowmine there for Reynor. Reynor with some nice hold position micro to try and get rid of all that. Does have Overlord speed, but only 1 Overseer with the army. 2 more do finish morphing now. Look at the map control with these Widowmines. This is something you just, you can't be having this. There's too much vision for Clem. He knows there's no surprises. He knows there's nothing. There's no attempt for aggression for Reynor. Now, this is one of those games where I think the Lurkers came out too late. I don't think he could have burrowed individual Lurkers at all the bases or anything like that. It's just a tough situation for him. There are 2 spores there. Hydras are in position, but that is a lib with lib range now, is it? No, it's just got sick angling when there's no area behind the minerals. It feels like a lib with lib range. Luckily, the Spore Crawler takes that one out, and this one does find the spot. Oh my god, he needs to build a Viper to get rid of this. Dude, this spot is so gross. Brings the medevac for vision. Ah, that spot, man. Clem has been so good at abusing that spot recently. Winter Madness. I wonder if some Zergs will start vetoing this map just for that spot. I don't think so. But getting that early Viper out, and I think you always want to have 2 spores on the edge to stop him ever getting in there. This is one of these maps you need to have those 2 spores, but remember, the previous drop came in and killed the single spore that was there, so the lib could just fly on in. Hydraling Bane, desperation counterattack here for REYNOR. He's still got a lot of money. He's going to find a bit of value here, but he's got to be careful. That army's coming home. It's not too far away. It's actually overstimmed a little bit. REYNOR, he's got some lurkers with this as well. I just think he needs to not go all in with this. He needs to just kill some more SCVs and run away. He's going to kill that orbital maybe. That orbital getting very, very low. It goes down. Banelings are on the high ground on top of the production. That means they're not guarding the lurkers. Clem could jump on top of that. Clem is really messed up. His whole army was in the top right side. He had this game pretty much in the bag, and now REYNOR, with a beautiful counter thrust, is back in the game. The lurkers have pulled back into a bit of an arc, but you can see they do get taken out. The bio does have to spread pretty far, though, to make that one work. More lurkers coming in. Man, you can see bio is just so good against these lurkers. Hey, when you've got Clem micro and you know how to spread out, but he is deep in the red now, and he takes a big nasty volley to the chin. The Ghosts are going to have to stall this out to snipe it. The production from the high ground does end up clearing it from that angle. Clem's going to reassert control over this area. REYNOR, unfortunately, was already in such a nasty position. He does eventually kill this Liberator. I'm not sure how that Liberator went down. I guess there is a Viper out there, so he must have abducted it in the midst of everything. Hydras, Lings, Lurkers, all trying to do their business. He's got 2 Lurkers there, but of course, this is a bit too late for Lurkers on their own to be striking things. 4 barracks on the right side, rebuilding some of the barracks that he's lost this game for a quick rebuild in the midst of losing that main base. But still having all those orbitals, I think he's okay. If you lose all your orbitals, that's where things are really bad. Yeah. This sort of move is often game-ending if it's like 5 minutes earlier when Terran's not got so many orbitals, so much infrastructure, so much money. But Clem is a very rich Terran in this game. And of course, REYNOR's bases are going to be mining out. This one's still fresh. That's half gone. That's half gone. This base is half gone, and the remaining half is going to disappear soon as well. He'll try to take the forward hatchery, but that's an easy cancel for Clem. Clem's army, it's always funny at this point where you're like, it's more Widow Mines, Libs, and Ghosts than anything else. I guess he still has 12 Marauders wherever the hell those guys are, partially in the top right side of the map. Hatchery does get cancelled down here. Lings are going to go for a big counter. Generally a good choice, but you can see Clem really respects it this time. He's bringing back his whole army, other than that little northern squad, and the Lings are getting in from every side. He's going to hit that top side. REYNOR's not ready for it. He's got Lurkers in the middle. He was hoping to push this central base, but instead he's going to give it up. He says, okay, the best defense is a good offense. Let's just keep going. The Lurkers come forward. Viper abducts a couple of these Liberators, which is a very nice move. Does actually clear all the Libs. The Lurkers should be able to bust this planetary if they've got enough time. Ling's still being cleared up in the main base. They're burrowed in the natural and the main, though, causing some damage. Can the Hydra Lurker take out this planetary? The answer is yes. He's already got 1 orbital out front. I'd love to see him focus down this other orbital. REYNOR right now is maxed out. Clem is on his last legs economically, but his army size is monumental. And you know what happens when these fights start turning the other way. They can turn very quickly against the Zerg player. We'll see if that's the case here. As the Marauders come in, the Lurkers are in a bit of a clump without much support. The Lurkers get taken care of. Lings are burrowed in the main. There's still a Zergling burrowed in the natural as well. REYNOR, once again, it's been the same in the upper finals where he got mauled in the early game. He would get behind, and every single time he would do some desperate counterattacks and make it an incredibly close game. But this time, it actually feels like maybe he could do this. He's just got to pull back, kill these SCVs, and move left. But he's getting surrounded right now. The extra Lurkers getting caught just before they finish morphing. Ghost coming in with a giant spready. The Lurkers are going to try and stand and fight. REYNOR says, I must hold this position. I must deny this base if I want a chance of winning this game. Remember, REYNOR has almost no mining at home right now. And it's going to be an overwhelming breakout for Clem, who finally does get in control. REYNOR turning that into a close game there. Very well done. The early harassment for Clem, though, was too good. And I think this, combined with I think the previous game on Winter Madness was similar. It's just so hard to defend Hellions trying to get in your natural from that side, and then also having this far right side to defend, not to mention that Banshees can rotate from here into the main and kind of hit both these mineral lines. It felt like that early game just went Clem's way and put him in a really good position. All right, guys. We got Clem in the top left side of the map, winning game 1, going to Ruby Rock, a map which is also, I think, pretty decent for Clem. Pushing style. REYNOR in the bottom right. Does he try to get up to Hydras maybe this game? Wouldn't mind something like that. I do think, realistically, if we do want to summarize that last game, what was the key mistake that REYNOR made? It's the Spore Crawler. If he doesn't have to fully transfer out of his main, I think he keeps his rhythm much better. Remember, he had to run every single drone out of the main to run away from the Banshee, then send them back, then put back on gas. His upgrades were too late, but also his flow was off from that point, and you could tell he was struggling with the follow-up Hellions and Banshees, and it just felt like his rhythm was all messed up. It's like he misread what was happening in that game, because, I mean, he had no scouting whatsoever, and he just kind of wasn't ready for the Banshees. I don't know if he was just tunnel visioning a bit. It's a long day of games. Even top pros will sometimes just go into autopilot, even if it's just for 30 seconds or a minute, and then they'll kind of glance at their game timer and go, oh my god, it's 5 minutes, and I don't have any spores or scouting. Oh, and then you kind of see him panic throw those spores down, and like a second later, the Banshee flew in. Youchie, youchies. Pig, how would you fare on hot ones? I do great. I've had all the hot ones sauces. They're pretty good. I mean, some of them are just like, they do just hurt. But I find spicy stuff is a bit like a psychedelic experience. It unlocks a part of your brain, you know. Opens up your third eye. Which, shockingly, to everyone's surprise, is on your butt. No, I do enjoy spicy food, and I do enjoy a challenge. But yeah, hot sauce high is a real thing. I always feel like it's kind of similar to like having a near death or near you know, physical harm experience where your adrenaline shoots up and you're just happy to be alive afterwards. You're like, woo! It's good fun. He goes for the triangle. I think that was a fake. I think REYNOR always wanted the straight line third. Straight line third's really nice, but you got to actually build it. Oh no! Why did he go for Ling speed first? I think because he's worried about the early Hellion aggression. Oh no, and his Lings are just sitting at home. Not even, if they were going across, maybe they could kill the SCV or something. He's still not sent another drone out. Oh, this is a slow reaction for REYNOR. And this drone's dead because you see how Clem's microing the Reaper. He's making sure if you cancel, oh! I was gonna say he was gonna move in next to the extractor because if you're standing right next to it, you can block him building the next one. But actually REYNOR does get it down really well done. Just gonna bounce that queen back a little bit. Lings go into the main base. Oh, the queen blocked it. Oh, that's a problem because now that drone's like 1 hit point from death. Did he get the SCV? No, he didn't. SCV's already on the high ground. Third command center, starport, and Hellion production has begun. Finally, the third base is going to go down, but it's already about 3 minutes and 18 seconds. That's a big delay. Does need to get back and start injecting his natural again to keep up lava production. Needs to put back on gas as well. There is a temptation here to just flood Zerglings and just wait for the Hellions to come across and then counterattack. And it actually might be able to work because this Hellion production was quite delayed. Reaper's moving south. Queen's going to move over there. Gonna rotate. Queens will be able to push back those Hellions. Here come the Zerglings. Oh, one Hellion goes down. Okay, Hellion on the high ground taking some damage. Ling's doing pretty well after the SCVs. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Very nicely done. Gets a Marine on the high ground. A lot of SCVs damaged, but so many still alive. That Hellion holding the door. That Hodor Hellion. He's got to click these Reddit point SCVs. Gets only 4. Can he get 5? Okay, 5, 6 SCVs. Oh man, that Hellion, that Hodor Hellion was so well done there. 7 SCVs in mining time, I'd say not bad for 14 Zerglings, not bad at all. But his third was delayed, so of course he doesn't have an abundance of lava to just drone up behind this. I love that there's a follow-up small Zergling run by that could poke in and do some damage. And then he just needs to build a lot more Zerglings to be safe at home. So even though he's got a good worker advantage, that's not going to last. Keep in mind. And look at this safety for Clem. Leaves the Hellions nearby, baits the Lings in, and he can very quickly pull back to respond. Those Zerglings not going to be able to escape. Quickly builds a barracks on the high ground as well. Very well played. Clem, nice follow-up cleanup. Tempting to go counter with the Hellions, Because he sent his Banshee across the map and he was swapping his factory off, he had no unit production other than the second Banshee. He had to leave those Hellions at home. That was really wise. So many Terrans get excited and just barrel across the map and leave themselves wide open to the second wave. Cloak. And he's just going to use that to maybe grab one drone on the escape. Good defense so far here for REYNOR. Double Evo Chambers on the way. Oh, he's going to lose 2 drones there. Oh, only 1. Very well played. Overlord here getting killed by a single Marine is a bit uncharacteristic. Should just click that over there, but going to go down. Zergling's trying to come back. There is no Overseer just yet. Queens need to run. Lynx could maybe save the day by killing that, but of course there's a lot going on right now. Other things to focus on. 1-1 upgrades have started now for Terran. Carapace has already started for Zerg. Zerg does have double Evo Chamber. He's got one in the main as well. Queens are close by. Banshee's very close to running out of energy. Oh, but every queen going into the main is a huge mistake for REYNOR. Should never be chasing the Banshees with every single queen. 1 Banshee goes down, but it does kill a queen or 2 as well. Only 6 queens left over. Zergling's getting cleaned up, and once again, it's another chaotic early game that I gotta say, as the dust is starting to settle, has to favor the Terran player. Hydra Den will go down. He's trying to play Hydras this time. With no gas on that third base, can't really afford those. REYNOR's still in a chaotic situation. He's just not quite on top of this. He's got that 13 worker advantage, but he needs to stabilize. He needs to stabilize right now. Doesn't have a 4th hatchery started at 6.5 minutes, which is a disaster. He's going to try and take the top side. He needs these gases as well. REYNOR's on 69 workers. I don't mind him being a little oversaturated on these bases, but he's got to get these gases going. He's got to do it fast because CLEM has pivoted. A lot of his issues have come from a refusal to build siege tanks recently in this matchup, and he's actually going to be building at least 2 to start, which will give him a really nice 7.5 to 8 minute push. Normally I say it's a bit earlier than that, but this has been a chaotic early game with the Ling run by, all the SCV and drone losses. It's going to be a bit later. Normally I say 7 minute to 7.5 minute is when the first 2 tanks should push with 1-1 and about 30 Marines with stim and shields. And actually with that second tank coming out, he could go right now, but he's going to leave the tank at home as a bit of insurance. 5th base down south is a good call. I've just realized the shirt I've put on today is like too small for me, and it's like sticking into my armpits. And it's like making me sweat. It's gross. That's the smell, the sweat and blood on the battlefield. No, it just smells like body odor. Doesn't smell good. Marine tank gets a nice snipe on the 5th base. New hatchery down to the south as well. Generally with this build order, you want to try and get up to 80, 85 drones as quickly as possible, but he goes movement again. I don't know, man. I just love groove spines. Tank production stops because Clem's a beta male, and he doesn't want to keep building tanks. You know, he wants that mobility, but once he sees these Hydras, I wonder if he ever considers going back into it. It's mass Hydra, 16 Hydras, 44 Zerglings. If we can get rid of this before the tanks are siege, that'd be big. But no Hydra upgrades ready. Oh, actually, he did go groove spines this time. I'm an idiot. Never mind. Hydras don't have the Lings in front of them. Really want the Lings to absorb the tank shots as well as to help against those Marines. These tanks move forward. This would be a great fight for REYNOR to just collapse on it. But REYNOR doesn't see him inch forward. And as a result, the reinforcements are going to arrive. A bunch of Hellions there. Lots more Marines, mines, a random SCV who wants to be one of the boys. I just want to be one of the boys. I got my drill. I can fight. I can fight. Trust me, boss. He does get sent home promptly, of course. Marines and Hellbats are here. The rally. Can he defend those siege tanks from behind is the question. Hydras and Queens trying to hold the line. Of course, keep in mind that 1-1 upgrade is finished for Zerg, which is massively helping out. Lings do run in, find a ton of Marines on the defense. And the positioning, these early tank pushes are just so brutal against the Hydra build, man. They're so good against it. The hatchery gets sniped. Lings finally come in from behind, but a lot of the Hydras have already fallen, as has this 4th base. Both tanks do get taken out. Finally, REYNOR pushes Clem back, but he's doing this off of 72 workers and 3 base mining, whilst Clem has a 4th. Let me put it this way, if the Terran is up in mining, has an extra base over you as you are officially 3 steps past Dicktown. You might actually be entering Taint City. You know, it's going to be a nasty time, man. Ling's going to try to run forward. Could be effective if they can hold these guys in place. Do force the pickup. Nice spready on the Zerglings as well. Very good cleanup. As long as REYNOR respreads the creep here. and does keep this top right side base. There is a dream of him surviving. However, he's still building a lot of Zerglings. With this style, generally you want to be exceptionally gas heavy. Lings aren't very effective because they don't have melee upgrades here. You also don't have Banelings, and they kind of desync from the Hydras. It's actually getting a few Infestors out that turns this into a super efficient style at dealing with Marines, Mines, and Marauders. But because Reynor got those gases so late due to taking so much damage early on, still doesn't have gases on his fourth. He's kind of playing this as a pure Hydraling style, and that's a style that's just not as easy to make work. Reynor's been making comebacks all day long from bad positions. Looks like his plan in this game is just max on Hydraling. Reynor might overcommit to the flanks, and you might be able to either slap some drops down or just shut him down when you counterattack. Oh, he's going to chase down the Hydras. Hydraling turns to fight, which I think is the correct choice here. Does he have enough to take care of this Bio? The Bio have 2-2 now against 1-2. Close fight. The Medevacs really helping, though. Drop does save itself in the main base. It's the concussive shells makes it really hard to turn and run away. Reynor's down on supply. Clem's so happy with this trading. 3,000 resource lost advantage while up in mining. Oh, that's something a Terran dreams of, mate. The Widow Mine's doing some burrow unburrow. They don't want to be firing on individual Zerglings. They only want shots if it's in the middle of the pack or on a bigger target like a Hydralisk. This time the Widow Mines, you can see firing, not getting very effective shots off. The Marauder's very low. There's not many Marines here, so he's struggling with these Zerglings running in. Now, as a bigger pack of Bio comes forward, the individual Zerglings are getting gunned down, and that Marine Marauder is going to stand and fight with a big line of Hydras. Reynor's fight looks surprisingly decent. The Overseers are taking big chunky Widowmine shots to the face, though. Might need to make a new Overseer here, otherwise he will lose that detection. Reynor pushing forward. He's down 5 army supply, though, and those Medevacs will be healing. The Widowmines, of course, do have more opportunities to get more damage, especially as the Overseers go down. Both Overseers go down, and now these Widow Mines create an impassable zone. He also gets 4-5 extra Hydras when Reynor turns to run. It is so hard to disengage from Clem due to that concussive shells. More like concucking shells, because he's cucking those Hydras right now. Am I right, guys, or am I right? This is unfortunate. It just feels like it's been a really good series, but as both players have got tired and exhausted, I do think it's just come down to the early game finesse, momentum, and damage, and it feels like Clem is the one who's coming out on top 2 games in a row in this best of 3 in the early game. And from there, it's a simpler style of game. It's the sort of game Clem loves, where he can just expand and push and attack and micro, pick and choose where all the fights happen. Ever since that thing ran by in the early game, Reynor has not chosen any of these battles. It has been Clem initiating, picking where and when the fights happen, and therefore never being caught off guard, whilst it's Reynor having to react, having to defend, which is always harder than being the guy in the driver's seat who's dictating where and when your attention has to be in each area. Great counterattack here for Reynor, though. He is going to get rid of that command center. Can he snipe it? I think he might be able to. These Widow Mines are really not getting any value, are they? If there was a Baneling transition, the Widow Mines are suddenly amazing. Until there is that Baneling transition, the Widow Mines are kind of dead weights. And actually loses his 5th base. Reynor, if he had a 5th base up of his own, I'd say that gives him a really good chance now. Ghost coming in, even sniping a few of these Hydras. The Bio trying to fight. Widow Mines burrowing on his face. Oh my gosh, those Widow Mines actually did some really good damage. The Medevacs are all out of energy, but you can see Reynor just doesn't quite have the numbers to capitalize on that. He's got just a trickle of Hydras and Zerglings when he really needs a large stream and a wide set Zerg rally point. But no ultra jumbo extra absorbent losses for Clem. Clem absorbs all of the Zerg, shuts them down. It doesn't matter how heavy your flow is, Clem will find a way to stop it. GG, well played. Clem ends up winning. First series wins 3-1. Second series loses 3-2. Final series does win 2-0 and says, I am still the big dad of this matchup. But that was a fiercely competitive series, and it has me incredibly excited to see what Serral's going to bring when we finally get Serral playing some big tournaments. Speaking of which, of course, this weekend, I don't know exactly when this is going on YouTube, probably tonight. The next couple of days, there's a Chinese tournament going on, so we have a good chance of seeing Serral versus Clem there on LAN, $50,000 invitational over in China. So that should be bloody exciting. Stay tuned for that, and we'll get the coverage up for that as soon afterwards as we cast it as possible, but I'll probably be casting it live on stream. Bit different to my normal stream hours, as obviously it's in China, so it'll be kind of an evening nighttime stream, but it should be a lot of fun. So stay tuned for that. I am more excited than ever. Part of me wonders if in this new meta, Reynor is actually better against Clem than Serral is, because of Reynor's ability to spread creep more aggressively, be a bit crazy with his like creep spread, his greed, his counterattacks. I actually think current meta, Clem might stomp Cyril, and it might actually be REYNOR who's the better ZVT player. But I would be very happy to stand corrected. Either way, you guys let me know what you think. We'll catch you guys next time. Goodbye and good night.